You want to change your life. You want to break free from the chains that hold most people down. Then you need to master four things: your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. These four are not random. They are the foundation of everything you experience. If you don't get control over them, they will control you. And when they control you, you live on autopilot reacting, surviving, settling. But when you take control, you stop living by chance and start living by choice. Let's start with your mouth. What you say creates your reality. The words you speak shape your identity, your relationships, your opportunities. Too many people sabotage themselves not because they lack talent or ability, but because they use their mouth carelessly. You say, "I can't," and your brain shuts down. You say, "I'm tired," and your body follows. You speak negativity into your world, and then wonder why life feels heavy. The truth is, your mouth is either building your future or destroying it. You've got to train yourself to speak power even when you feel powerless. Say what you want, not what you fear. Speak solutions, not excuses. Stop gossiping, stop complaining, stop pouring poison into your own mind and the minds of others. If you can't control your mouth, you'll never control your destiny. Now, let's talk about your mood. Emotions are powerful. They can fuel you or they can chain you. Most people let their moods decide their day. If they wake up tired, the whole day is ruined. If someone cuts them off in traffic, their whole energy collapses. But here's the truth: your mood is a choice, not a sentence. You can shift your state in an instant. Change your posture, change your breathing, move your body, and you can flip the switch from drained to driven. But you've got to stop waiting for life to make you feel good. Stop depending on circumstances. Happiness, focus, and drive are not delivered to your doorstep. You create them. Control your mood, and you control your energy. Control your energy, and you control your outcomes. Then there's money. And listen carefully, money is not everything, but it touches everything. People love to say money doesn't matter. But if you believe that, try living without it. Money is a tool, a resource, a form of energy. And if you don't control it, it will control you. Too many people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't manage what they earn. They buy to impress, they spend to escape, and they borrow to pretend. The result: chains, debt, stress, and stress kills dreams faster than failure ever could. So take control, save with discipline, invest with courage, spend with wisdom. Learn how money works instead of letting it slip through your fingers. Because if you don't own your money story, it will own you. Finally, the most powerful of all, the mind. Everything begins and ends here. Your mind is the command center of your life. What you believe, you create. What you focus on, you feel. What you expect, you attract. But here's the danger. If you don't take control of your mind, it will become a dumping ground for fear, doubt, and distractions. The world will fill it with noise, social media, bad news, toxic voices, and you will think it's your own truth. No, you've got to guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Feed it with books, with learning, with empowering conversations. Focus on growth instead of gossip. See problems as challenges, not barriers. Train your mind to see possibility where others only see obstacles. Because when your mind is strong, no circumstance can break you. So here's the reality. Control your mouth and you speak life. Control your mood and you command your energy. Control your money and you buy freedom. Control your mind and you create the life you were born for. Your words shape your reality. Speak power, not weakness. Most people underestimate the force that comes out of their own mouth. They think words are just sounds, just expressions of how they feel in the moment. But words are seeds. Every time you speak, you're planting something in your life and in the lives of the people around you. The problem is, most people are planting weeds instead of fruit. They complain about their job, their health, their relationships, their future, and then they wonder why nothing ever changes. The truth is, Nothing changes because they keep reinforcing the same story. Your brain listens to what you say, and it takes it as instruction. If you keep saying you can't, you won't. If you keep saying you're tired, you'll feel exhausted. If you keep saying life is hard, it will become harder. The words you allow to leave your lips are creating the world you're forced to live in. Think about it. How many times have you shut down your own opportunities just by the language you chose? You had a dream, but instead of saying, "I will make this happen," you said, "I don't know if I'm good enough." You had a goal, but instead of saying, "I'll figure it out," you said, "It's too hard." That single choice of words closes the door on possibilities before they even had a chance to show up. Your mouth is either building your future or destroying it. You cannot afford to be careless with what you say, because every word is either a brick or a wrecking ball. The most successful people you see aren't free of doubt. They don't always feel confident, but they have trained their mouth to serve their vision instead of their fear. They say things that empower them, even when their feelings don't match yet. They speak strength, they speak solutions, they speak faith in the face of uncertainty. And guess what happens? Their brain finds a way to catch up with their words. Your physiology, your mindset, your decisions, everything starts to align with the story you keep telling. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about refusing to let your mouth feed your weaknesses. Stop rehearsing your limitations. Stop repeating how bad things are. Stop reinforcing your pain. Start using your words to build instead of to break. Replace "I can't" with "I can learn." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I'm finding a way." Replace "I never" with "I will." The shift may feel small, but it's massive in its effect. You've got to understand, your mouth is not just describing your life, it's directing it. When you say, "I'm too tired to work out," you've already given your body permission to quit. When you say, "I'll never get out of debt," you're commanding your brain not to even look for opportunities to change that. When you say, "Nobody ever supports me," you're setting yourself up to miss the people who are trying to support you right now. You are scripting your life with your own language. If you want a different life, you've got to start telling a different story. You've got to speak possibility into your future. You've got to declare your vision even when you can't see it yet. There is power in saying, "I will," even when you don't know how. There is power in saying, "I'm stronger than this," even when you feel weak. There is power in saying, "I'm not stopping until I win," even when the odds are against you. Those words ignite something inside you that feelings alone cannot. People think discipline starts in the gym or in the office or with your schedule. No, discipline starts in your mouth. If you can discipline your words, you can discipline your life. It means catching yourself before you speak negativity. It means refusing to let your circumstances dictate your language. It means choosing to speak life into your future even when you don't feel like it. Because when you do, you're not just talking. You're programming your mind, shaping your belief system, and creating momentum that feelings alone could never give you. Your mood is a choice. Master it, don't serve it. Every single day, people wake up and let their emotions dictate the quality of their life. They let the weather decide how they feel. They let a message on their phone decide if they'll have energy or not. They let someone else's attitude determine whether they'll stay positive or spiral into frustration. But here's the truth. Your mood is not the weather. It doesn't just change randomly without your control. Your mood is your responsibility, and if you don't take charge of it, you'll always be a prisoner to circumstances you can't control. Most people live reactive lives. Someone cuts them off in traffic, and instantly their mood is destroyed. A coworker says something rude, and now their entire day is poisoned. They scroll through social media and see someone else's highlight reel, and suddenly they're discouraged. That's because they've trained themselves to let external forces push their emotions around like a leaf in the wind. But you are not a leaf. You are the one holding the steering wheel. You don't have to serve your mood. Your mood has to serve you. Energy is everything. The mood you choose shapes the energy you bring into your work, into your relationships, into your decisions. If you stay in a bad mood, your focus shrinks. Your creativity dries up. Your ability to see solutions disappears. And before you know it, you've convinced yourself that you're stuck, when the only thing that's stuck is your emotional state. The most successful, fulfilled people you admire aren't the ones who never feel stress, anger, or sadness. They are the ones who refuse to live there. They feel it, acknowledge it, and then they take control of their state. You can shift your mood faster than you think. Your body is the key. Change your posture, stand tall, move your body, and your emotions follow. Change your breathing, deeper, stronger, more intentional, and watch your energy rise. Play music that ignites you. Speak words that empower you. Your mind listens to your body, and your body listens to your mind. When you take control of one, you influence the other. The problem is, most people wait. They wait for something good to happen before they allow themselves to feel good. That's backwards. You don't wait for a reason. You create one. Think about how much of your life has been wasted in bad moods. Hours, days, even weeks lost because you chose to stay angry, bitter, or discouraged. You can't get that time back, but you can make a different decision today. You can decide that your mood no longer has permission to run your life. You can decide that no matter what happens, you'll return to a state that serves you. It doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you refuse to give your power away to things you can't control. Here's the secret. Your mood is contagious. When you walk into a room, people feel your energy before you even speak. If you walk in angry, tense, or drained, you spread that atmosphere. But if you walk in with confidence, focus, and positivity, you elevate everyone around you. That's how leaders operate. They don't wait for their environment to lift them up. They show up and lift the environment, and you can do the same. Stop saying, "That's just how I feel." Feelings are real, but they are not permanent. You don't have to stay in any mood longer than you choose. If you want focus, choose focus. If you want courage, choose courage. If you want gratitude, choose gratitude. At first it may feel fake, but it's not. It's training. You are training your brain to serve your vision instead of your emotions. Every time you flip the switch on a negative mood, you're building strength. You're proving to yourself that you are in charge, not your feelings. Because here's the truth. Your mood is the thermostat of your life. If you keep it low, you'll never have the energy to create the life you want. But if you raise it intentionally, everything else rises with it. Your confidence, your decisions, your opportunities. It all starts with the choice you make about how you'll feel, no matter what the world throws at you. Money is a tool. Control it, or it will control you. Too many people walk through life chained by money, not because they don't have enough, but because they never learned how to master it. They work day and night, yet feel like they're drowning. They spend every dollar they make chasing the next temporary thrill, while the stress of bills and debt eats away at their freedom. Money is not evil, and it's not magic. It's neutral. It becomes whatever you decide to do with it. If you treat money with discipline, it becomes a tool that builds freedom. If you treat it carelessly, it becomes a weapon that destroys peace. The truth is, money doesn't change who you are, it amplifies who you are. If you're careless when you have little, you'll be reckless when you have much. If you're generous when you have a little, you'll be impactful when you have more. So the question isn't just how much you make, but how much control you have. If you don't control your spending, your saving, and your investing, money will forever be your master instead of your servant. People love to say, money doesn't matter. But that's a lie people tell themselves to avoid responsibility. If it truly didn't matter, nobody would stress over bills, nobody would fight over finances, and nobody would work jobs they hate just to survive. Money matters because it gives you options. It determines whether you live in reaction or with intention. Without control over your money, You live trapped by necessity instead of guided by choice. The cycle of financial struggle often comes down to habits. Buying things to impress others instead of investing in your own future. Using credit cards for wants instead of needs. Failing to save because it feels too small to matter. These habits become invisible chains, keeping people locked in stress year after year. But the good news is you can break the cycle, and you don't have to wait until you're wealthy to start. Control begins with the very next decision you make. Every time you choose to save instead of spend, every time you invest instead of waste, you're telling money, I'm the one in charge here. Control isn't about greed, it's about freedom. It's the difference between working because you have to and working because you want to. It's the difference between saying, I can't afford that, and asking, how can I make that happen? It's the power to say yes to opportunities, to give generously, to live without the constant weight of financial stress. That kind of freedom isn't reserved for the lucky. It's built by those who decide to take control. But taking control of money also means facing uncomfortable truths. It means admitting where you've been careless. It means being brutally honest about what's holding you back. It means cutting out the expenses that don't serve your vision. It means building the discipline to live below your means so you can eventually live above them. And it means educating yourself, because ignorance is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. If you don't understand how money works, you'll always be the one working for it instead of letting it work for you. Money is energy, and like any energy, it flows where it's directed. If you direct it with clarity, it grows. If you let it flow without intention, it disappears. Every dollar is a soldier. You can send it to fight for your future, or you can waste it on battles that don't matter. When you see money that way, every financial decision becomes a test. Will this choice bring me closer to freedom, or will it chain me tighter? The key is to stop letting short-term emotions control long-term outcomes. That moment of impulse when you want to buy something you don't need, that's the battlefield. That moment you feel discouraged about how small your savings look, that's the battlefield. That moment you think you'll never understand investing, so you just give up. That's the battlefield. If you win those battles, you win the war. Because money doesn't just affect your bank account, it affects your mind. Debt steals your focus. Overspending steals your peace. Living paycheck to paycheck steals your dreams. But financial control brings clarity, confidence, and courage. It gives you the mental space to think bigger, to dream bigger, to act bolder. When money stops being your master, you finally get to step into the life you were meant to create. Your mind is the command center. Guard it with intention. Everything in your life flows from the way you think. The thoughts you allow to take root shape your beliefs, and your beliefs dictate your actions, which create your results. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, your life will reflect that. If your mind is trained to focus on possibility, growth, and solutions, you'll see opportunities where others only see problems. The challenge is that the mind doesn't naturally drift toward strength. It drifts toward survival. It looks for danger, it magnifies risks, it replays failures. That's why you can't leave it unguarded. You must be intentional with what you feed it and how you direct it. Most people don't realize how much of their mental space is being rented out to things that don't serve them. Hours spent scrolling through negativity, absorbing gossip, comparing themselves to strangers online, listening to voices that tear down instead of build up. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, anxious, or hopeless. The truth is, your mind is a garden. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant weeds of doubt, fear, and distraction, you'll harvest confusion and frustration. If you plant seeds of knowledge, gratitude, and vision, you'll harvest confidence and clarity. But the soil doesn't care what you plant. It will return whatever you put in it. That's why guarding it is not optional, it's essential. Guarding your mind doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let toxic input become your truth. It means being selective about the voices you listen to. It means shutting out the noise long enough to hear your own vision. The world will always try to feed you fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. If you don't filter it, those voices will become louder than your own, and soon you'll start living a life built on someone else's limitations instead of your potential. Training your mind requires discipline. It means choosing what you focus on, even when your emotions try to pull you elsewhere. If you focus on problems, you'll feel powerless. If you focus on solutions, you'll feel empowered. If you focus on what you can't control, you'll feel stuck. If you focus on what you can control, you'll start to see progress. Focus is fuel. Where you direct it determines the strength you have to move forward. Another powerful truth is that your mind believes the story you tell it. If you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," your mind doesn't argue, it looks for evidence to prove you right. If you tell it, "I'll figure this out," it starts searching for ways to do it. Your brain is like a GPS. It takes the destination you give it and starts looking for the route. If you don't give it a clear, empowering destination, it will wander aimlessly. That's why affirmations, visualization, and intentional self-talk aren't just fluffy ideas. They're practical tools for programming your mind to serve you instead of sabotage you. Guarding your mind also means surrounding yourself with the right environment. You cannot expect to think like a champion if you're surrounded by voices that settle for mediocrity. You cannot expect to focus on growth if your environment is filled with distractions. Sometimes guarding your mind means distancing yourself from people, places, and habits that constantly drag you back into the old version of yourself. It means creating a space where your vision can breathe instead of suffocate. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You'll never stop negative thoughts from showing up, but you don't have to let them stay. You can acknowledge them, redirect them, and replace them. The more you practice, the faster you'll be able to shift. It's like training a muscle. The more reps you put in, the stronger it gets. At first, it feels difficult, but over time, guarding your mind becomes second nature. You start noticing when a thought doesn't serve you. You start catching yourself before you spiral. You start choosing responses instead of reacting automatically. Your mind is the most valuable asset you own. Lose money, you can earn it back. Lose opportunities, you can create more. But if you lose control of your mind, you lose the foundation for everything else. That's why you must guard it with intention every single day, because everything you desire, every goal you chase, every life you want to build begins with the state of your mind. Master these four, and you master your destiny. Life doesn't hand out success, happiness, or fulfillment on a silver platter. It demands mastery, not mastery of the world around you, but mastery of yourself. The four pillars, your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, are the foundation of everything you experience. If you don't master these, no external success will bring you true freedom. But if you do, you unlock a power so profound it reshapes your entire existence. When you control your mouth, you control the story you tell yourself and others. Words have power beyond what most realize. They are the scripts that play in your mind, the commands you give your body, and the invitations you extend to the world. Speaking with intention means you're not just reacting, you're creating. You choose to speak strength over weakness, possibility over limitation, gratitude over complaint. This simple shift rewires your brain and rewrites your future. It sets a new trajectory for your life, where you are the author of your own story, not the victim of circumstance. Controlling your mood means refusing to live at the mercy of emotions that come and go like waves in the ocean. It means you become the captain of your emotional ship. You decide how you show up, no matter what storms rage around you. This kind of control is liberation. It stops the endless cycle of reacting to external events and starts a new pattern of responding with power and purpose. When you master your mood, you bring energy, focus, and resilience to every moment. You become unstoppable because your state becomes your weapon. Financial mastery is more than accumulating wealth. It's about reclaiming your freedom. Money is the tool that buys choices and opens doors. But without control, it becomes a source of stress and limitation. Mastering money means living with discipline, making informed decisions, and investing in your future rather than your fears. It means creating a safety net so you can take risks without fear. It means having the power to say yes to opportunities that align with your vision and no to distractions that don't serve you. Financial control builds confidence and peace of mind that nothing else can replace. The mind is the ultimate battleground. It is where your destiny is forged. If your mind is cluttered with doubt, fear, and negativity, it's impossible to move forward. But if you intentionally guard and train your mind, you create an environment where growth, courage, and innovation thrive. You become the thinker who doesn't just dream but executes. You become the visionary who doesn't just wish but acts. Mental mastery means building habits of focus, resilience, and clarity so powerful that setbacks don't derail you. Instead, they fuel your momentum. When these four areas are in alignment, your mouth, mood, money, and mind, you step into a new level of personal power. You stop feeling like life is happening to you and start knowing life is happening for you. Challenges become opportunities, setbacks become lessons, fear becomes fuel, and every day you get closer to the life you were designed to live. The truth is, mastery isn't about perfection. It's about consistent progress. It's about making the choice over and over to take control of what you can control. It's about refusing to hand your power away to excuses, distractions, or limitations. It's about understanding that your destiny is not shaped by luck or circumstance, but by the decisions you make every moment of every day. Control your mouth, and you change your narrative. Control your mood, and you shift your energy. Control your money, and you buy freedom. Control your mind, and you build your future. Master these four, and you don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just dream, you do. You don't just exist, you lead. This is your power, this is your moment, this is your life.